Hey, Roger here from Roger's Hot Rod Garage, and we've got 2023, and it is Thanksgiving Day. We didn't do the turkey thing today because we do that a little bit later on, but I'm going to talk to you today shortly, maybe 10 minutes, about what I've done as far as the cooling system on this thing's concerned. So again, I've got the kit from Renegade Hybrids in here. Those cats are cool. You call them up and they'll tell you what you're doing wrong, or they'll point you in the right direction. So once I did that last time, Scott, actually the owner of Renegade Hybrids, actually went into his whiteboard before you go into the shop from the office. And what I did here is I copied this off of his YouTube video, and it kind of shows you the F block right here and this little mechanism right here, which is basically your thermostat housing. I don't remember what actual vehicle that comes out of, but it's actually a full true bypass system. Heater, I'll show you that in a second. This is the front of the LS3 right here, and this is the input, and this is that aluminum, really nice fabricated thing that they send you to bolt to the front of it, because this thing is right up against the, it's not a firewall, it's actually where you're leaning against, so it's the back of the seat compartment. I'll show you that, and I'll show you the overflow, and then this is that Mazur electric pump that they sell you with the kit, and my radiator's in the front right now. Anyway, long story short, let me grab my little flashlight right here and go down here into the depths of the side of the motor. And this is the engine compartment. I've actually got a lot of room up in here. So this is what I did. Again, I did not use their F block because the orientation, I just wanted to have this thing pointing in the right direction. So there's where it is right here, but it does the exact same function. If you look way down there, let me see if I get my camera down in here. There's where it comes in from the return. There's where it goes into the suction. Here's where it comes up and comes back from the true bypass. And then here is the output of the Mazur, where it's actually shooting in to the actual electric water pump, which is sitting on the side, which is mounted directly onto the frame rail that they send you for the conversion kit. Here's my fill. This is not the overflow, but this is the actual fill. And then the overflow comes from this little area right here where I'm shining with the flashlight over to this one right here. So obviously I'm going to have to close this off. I'm going to weld that shut. I'm going to take this over here, orientate over here, and then I'm going to have a little bitty bridge running from here to here. And this is my true stainless steel overflow. And if you saw in here, I got my nice little bolts up in here, and it's all bolted up in here real nice and neat and tidy. So anyway, this unit right here, I don't think it's supposed to be a water inlet, but it's aluminum. And the main thing about aluminum is I'm going to take this. I'm going to try to show you this. See that little hole on the bottom right down there? I got to take that, orientate it, and the last little connection I got goes to the front over there, and I can't see this, so hopefully I'm pointing in the right direction. The top fill, so that's how this thing gets water into the actual engine and sucks it through. So like Scott said, this is the highest point right here, so everything will percolate. And I also have this hose right here, very important. This right here is your vent hose that comes from the front of your LS3 engine over here. So basically this right here is also going to go into here, vent, and then shoot all the air out of there. So that's as far as the cooling system is concerned. If you look right down here, there's that nice little small GM one wire 100 amp alternator, nice and neat and tucked up in there, running with a serpentine belt. But look, let me show you over here on the other side. Again, I am not a TIG welding expert, but I did pretty good on here. So some of my stuff right down here, there's the heater hoses, and check this out. I actually used the heater hole. I don't want to say whore, but heater hole duct that goes to the front on the side, running in the rockers over here. So it comes out right here, and then if you look right here, this is actually my vintage AC and heat unit right up here, tucked up in here. I did have to build myself what they call a doghouse. So this is a modification up in here. And then this R is a return line, and this is the actual line coming up in here. So let me jump back in here one more time. So you see this little plastic unit right here, the oval round thing? That is what they sell you with the kit. I don't like it, to be quite frank with you, because it's vacuum operated, and you're either all the heat coming through it or none of the heat coming at all. So I had a car before I put that unit in. So what I did, for this low price of 16 bucks, you can get yourself a little cheapy unit like this, and you run your little, it's like a choke cable up in here, and that way you can actually fine tune, this is on and this is off, just with a little lever on the bottom or the front of the car down here, someplace in the dashboard, and I'll run that control along with the heater hoses right up the front. They'll literally pop out right there. That's the plan for that. And that way you can adjust it just a little bit of heat or a whole lot of heat. And look, since I'm back here, the fine folks at Summit Racing just sent me an aluminum coupler, 45 degrees, polished 4-inch. So check this out. Let me throw my little stand I got with a block 4x4. So this right here is what I got, 45 degree angle instead of a 90 degree angle. And what I'm gonna do is I'm probably gonna chop this thing right about here. Take this and put it in right about here. And then this right here from K&N, probably about $27 or $31, I'm not quite sure, not super expensive. Pretty cool little unit. Is gonna be sitting literally about right here at an angle in the trunk. Right about something like that, just because that 45 degree angle. Now this, believe it or not, is only like about $16, $17, and I'm only going to use a little chunk of it, but the rest of it will go in my pile of stuff for future projects. But what else can I show you about this thing? That's basically it. I should have that done this weekend. Again, I can't weld aluminum, TIG, or MIG, because I don't have that capability here, but Roland, a buddy who lives the next town over, sure can. He does super, super good welding. So look, let me run to the front of the car real quick here. Or matter of fact, I'm just gonna walk up there slowly and show you the front of it. Most of you've seen this in previous videos, but this is almost complete right now. Now this is just a tape temporarily holding it on here. This is aluminum down here. This is like 5/8 inch, if not 3/4 inch plywood, and then my carpet's on top of that. So this is gonna be the barrier for the air being blown into here, and that's a pretty good size scoop right here. And this right here, from here to here, it's a solid 5.5, 6 inches. So I'm not that worried about it. And if I do think it's too low, I can just get into those 11mm bolts and just raise this thing up just a little bit on the front. But anyway, batteries in, and this right here is a little trick I used on a couple of other projects with LS. This is just a regular old, what do you call it, a valve stem, Schrader valve. And you can basically air bleed these things out. Oh, by the way, this is Roland's welding right here. So the dude can weld. Back to this right here. So once I get this thing bled out, you just basically open this little right here and go psst, 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 and the air will bubble out of there if it's in there. And I don't know why, but just for shits and giggles, I put one here and also one right here. And then as far as that's concerned, that's a pretty high spot. I can just loosen up one of those connections right there, or hell, I might even put one of those valves up in there just to get the air that's gonna be trapped up in there out of there. This is actually already pushed up on here. I just gotta put a clamp on it, those nice German stainless steel clamps. And then over here, same thing. I just haven't locked this in right now because I don't know if I'm gonna actually try to do a TIG weld piece of aluminum around here, or whether I just let these things right here actually do the bending. So the piece is already cut. This is from Renegade Hybrids as well. This is 1.25 inches, I believe. And then the ones on the back side are also 1.25 inches. And all these right here are 1.25 inches. So again, this is just some Summit rating or Griffin radiator that I use. I'm laying it down flat. Hopefully I don't go into never do this again because it's not gonna work, but that's my plan, because I wanted to, wait a minute, I can't get this off right now. Usually it falls off by itself after a while. I want to maintain, pull this out of here, I want to maintain a little bit of a trunk space up in here. I know it's not a whole lot because the hood comes down right here, but at least I can put an overnight bag up in here or something so you can travel it, because this was a great little storage area if you didn't have that radiator sitting up front. Back here, I'm gonna have a little bit of trunk space up in here, not a whole lot, but again, it's the car, it's gonna be a little hot rod. I think it's gonna be entirely too fast with no ABS, no traction control. You just gotta actually be really, really careful when you step on the gas, because this thing, what's it gonna weigh? Less than 2,000 pounds, or right at 2,000 pounds, or the Germans say about 980 kilos, yeah. But anyway, this is in here. Talked to Sven today at the upholstery shop. He's stitching off the top piece of the dashboard right here. And then you've seen this in the last video. This right here is actually what I've already completed right here. I welded this shut right here because this is actually the air conditioning heating unit directly behind here. I'm not going to have a radio control up in here simply because that's going to be done remotely with just an amplifier that you saw on the front of the car. This is on here, and this piece that goes up here is the actual dashboard that Sven is actually doing the stitching on right now. Again, I just talked to him today. And the rest of the stuff is old school. Those are old Chevrolet gauges from Classic Instruments. That's a VDO gauge. It's just, I want to see stuff move back and forth. That's nothing more than a vacuum gauge, so I'm going to run a line up in there. But look, I'm almost out of breath right here because I've been talking. I got to head upstairs. I got one day of work left tomorrow, and then I got Saturday and Sunday off. So let me cruise over here and close out, see if there's anything else I missed on here, because my nimble little brain can't remember like the 5 or 6 things I wanted to talk about, but I think I've covered it all. So let me do one more thing. Let me save some energy here and cut this flashlight off. Oh, 1, 2, 3, cut the buttons off, now it's red. But check this out, one more thing I'll show you over here is that F-block that Renegade Hybrids sells you. This is what it actually looks like, but maybe for a Christmas present, I'm actually gonna put it in a mail and send it back to them. Nothing wrong with it. I just wanted to be able to orientate exactly how I want to do that. Now, hopefully I didn't screw something up, but I studied a diagram that Scott drew up on the whiteboard between the office and the actual shop. I think that's where I've never been to Las Vegas, but that's the plan. And look, I know I've been promising this for like, what, 6 months or a year. I should be able to crank this thing up in early 2024. I'm saying that because there's only a month and a half left right now, and I got a couple of other projects I'm working on, but there's really not that much left to it. The fuel is done, the fuel pressure is done. I got everything in here. You saw a video where behind this frame rail right here, I've actually got my electric fuel pump in line with the regulator from Corvette. I'll get this put in here and put water in it. You know, I've been avoiding that water welding TIG project right now because it's kind of complicated, and my brain is getting slower and slower with the years. But I think I'm to the point right now where don't have to have the dash in. I just gotta isolate all those wires down there and just find the plus and the minus and send the purple line on that GM motor back to the starter, a little bit of power, and flip this thing over. I think that's about it. So anyway, Roger's Hot Rod Garage, thanks for watching. Again, happy Thanksgiving 2023. A whole bunch of friends of ours are actually in Daytona Beach right now for the turkey run. We'll do it again next year, so 2024 I'll be there. And then a couple of things are changing in my life. But anyway, take care, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, because again, I'm about this close for monetization. I think that's the word that they changed it to in YouTube channel. I don't do it for the money. I just do it for the fun of it right now, to actually document the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 builds I've done over here in the last literally 15 years. I've had a channel up for about 13 years right now. But anyway, if you like it, subscribe, share with your friends, and do a like for me. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye-bye. Roger's Hot Rod Garage from Germany.